Hey, my name is Mike, and this is a too long didn't read guide for Xavius on Mythic. In short, this is the exact same fight as it is on Heroic, except you have the 5 beams for the dream. This is your corruption bar. Things will happen to increase the amount of corruption you have. At 33 corruption, you get this big circle. At 66 corruption, these small swirlies. At 100 corruption, you get your damage and healing increased for a short time, and then you get mind controlled. If you're in the dream, you won't get mind controlled, you'll just get ported back to reality. At 97, 80, 60, and 45%, 5 beams will spawn that need to be soaked by one person. This person is put in the dream for about 4 minutes. Nothing special happens in the dream, it's just that your corruption resets when you get back to reality. And also when you go back to reality, all your cooldowns are reset to what they were before you went in, so pop any that are up before you leave. And also, don't stand in the aura of the person that's sleeping, this does damage to you. My guild had 1 tank, 1 healer, and 3 DPS for the first 2 sets of beams. The last 2 sets had 1 healer and 4 DPS. Make sure both ranged and melee are going into these beams. Darkening Soul is a dot put on the tank. It hits anyone within 25 yards, so the tank needs to move away. The person that dispels this should be in the dream because they will take damage and get 25 corruption. Nightmare Blades are put on 2 people. After a few seconds, a blade will come out of the wall and hit them both in a line from where they stand. It's best to line up across from each other where there's no one else. Lurking Terrors will spawn unranged. They fixate a random person, but the first person that they come in contact with will take damage and get 30 corruption, and then the ad will die. People in the dream should be soaking these. Corruption Horrors will also spawn. Pick these up and bring them to Xavius to cleave into, killing them before phase 2 starts at 65%. This ad has a Nova ability that hits anyone close and applies 5 corruption. He also has a Frontal Swipe ability that hits for a lot and adds 10 corruption. An additional horror will spawn if someone misses the dream beam, so that's probably just a wipe. Nothing in phase 1 carries over to phase 2. In phase 2, Xavius will get a 30-second buff called Nightmare Infusion that makes his melee attacks add 5 corruption. Blackening Soul is a dot put on the tank. When this is dispelled, they get a debuff that increases the damage that they take. The person that dispels this should be in the dream because they take damage and get 25 corruption. Corruption Meteor is a big giant circle. Everyone should be stacking in this to split the damage. The 2 people that have Bonds of Terror should stack up to remove it. Ads will spawn from the walls and they do AoE and add corruption if they get to Xavius. Kill them quickly and then have someone in the dream soak their puddle or else they'll respawn. Soaking the puddle also adds corruption. Phase 3 will start at 30%, and that's when you pop all your offensive cooldowns. Blackening Soul, Nightmare Blades, Corruption Meteor, and Nightmare Infusion continue to happen in this phase. This is the burn before you die phase. There's a bunch of tentacles that do a bit of damage and add corruption. If you need to or want to, you can kite Xavius onto the tentacles to kill them. This reduces some of the damage you're taking as well as lowers the amount of corruption you're getting as well. That was a too long didn't read guide for Xavius. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget that I think you look beautiful today.